As long as you understand, it's good enough. Go ahead.
What do so the first thing was
Mhm.
I thought it was like a little difficult, I mean, at least for me to find like a research paper that allowed me to look at like its questionnaire. Because like I was searching,
Mm.
I wanted it to like kind of relate to at least the eye. And like I was searching and
Mhm.
searching, and I just could not find any that like I could like access the questionnaire except for one. And that too, like,
Mhm.
I don't know, the questionnaire itself was it was like it wasn't like similar to the one that you made, but I thought better than nothing. I think it's here, this one.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, better than nothing. This one
Okay.
is the one
Mhm.
it was basically questioning like the patient's just like I guess it was like the daily stuff, daily activities and
Mhm.
how often they do it. And
Okay.
it was just like, it's just fairly simple. Uh how often do you do an activity and then you circle it. And then when you scroll down
Mhm.
here, how often what's it? Just specifics relating to your people's eyesight.
Mhm.
And after looking through all of this, the edits I made to
Mhm.
mine where I simplified the language because I noticed in this one, it was just like it was
Very
very
simple.
it was very simple, very like it was not confusing at all. So I simplified the language. I added
Mhm.
instructions just I thought maybe because they added instructions in theirs. I'm like, there's no harm in adding instructions. And then I made sure to add
Mhm.
the units this time. In here,
Okay.
so this is like my first one, and then I just kind of this is like the revamped version. The
Mhm.
questions I made sure the questions were a lot simpler. But I forgot to change
Mhm.
the myopia and the hyperopia. But I would have changed that
Okay.
to farsightedness and nearsightedness.
Mhm.
But yeah, those were the changes I made after viewing this one.
Okay.
And then I watched the video that you shared, and the questions I had, I didn't have too many, but
Mhm.
the first one was like, I noticed that they used a lot of graphics. So my first question was, is
Mhm.
graphics necessary or recommended when making a presentation, and if so, why?
Mhm.
And then I
Okay.
noticed that the data was very like simple, very minimal, and I feel like I was just wondering like if the data is like minimal, wouldn't people like miss out on like information? And then what
Mhm.
would what would you consider like the best way to present data?
Okay, that's perfect. I mean, these are like great questions. So I'll come to this. So can you go to your questionnaire?
Yeah. Oh, I think it's like the
But
top.
this is like great work. I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this is really good. I mean, I'm very impressed, honestly. So I'm happy with demographics, not much to change, family history. Okay, that works. Have you ever been diagnosed? Okay, so now, right? This is good. Right? So when you say symptoms, no, even if we assign like one score for each of the things, it would mean that if a person has higher score, they have a worse eye condition. So it is still giving me that information,
Mhm.
right? What I would add is instead of none of the above, I would keep none of the above and add other issues with my eye,
Okay.
right? Just add that. You see, they don't have to mention it, but we'll just put it in there. So to make sure that there is an option if none of that is there and they still feel something is in their eye, right? That we can explore later. Make sense? Then, when it comes to symptom onset, right? So, for each symptom, I would say blurred vision, and I would make blurred vision as question one and question B as, hey, when did you first notice the
Like
symptoms?
I would kind of insert it like underneath it. Okay.
Yes, like a scale over there. Like, is it days and how many days?
No, wait there. Wait.
You remember? Yeah, you remember me telling it last time?
Yeah, yeah.
You were like, okay, I was seeing your face, and it was like, oh my God, why did I forget
Yeah.
this? So that's for the symptom onset. Yeah. Apart from that, if you go down, if you have an eye condition, what treatments have you received? Medication, glasses, contacts, surgery, others. I do not have a eye condition. So, please specify. Now, I still have a problem with mentioning others. And when we say please specify, it is someone else has to come and interpret that data, right? So either we keep it as others or we just, not collect the data in the first place. Or we can just collect it and we'll see how it turns out. That's
Okay.
okay. Are you currently undergoing any of the treatment for an eye condition? So here you mention the treatments, right? Like glaucoma, surgery, blah, blah, blah. So those are the things that you mentioned.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah.
And then any additional comments or information that you can make it a little bit more general. Just say that overall well-being. Like, so I think in one of the questions in their questionnaire, they had like a general question about how they're feeling with respect to their health. You can put that.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. And these are less questions, right? And that's great. So the more questions you put, the more you won't be able to collect all the information. So every question we put, we should be like, hey, is this question required? And what is this question measuring? Right? So next time I would say, see, we are going to spend time tweaking this questionnaire, right? This is going to take some time. So next time I want you to write like, okay, this is the question. What am I looking for? If I get yes, what does it mean? If I get no, what does it mean? Right? And when I say if I get no, what does it mean? I want you to say that, okay, exclude certain conditions for sure. If it's a no, then it definitely cannot be XYZ. Right? So I don't expect you to fill it up over a week. We can take more time to fill it up, but pick like 3 questions, 4 questions, and answer these for those questions. Okay?
Okay.
Then, yeah, that's about the questionnaire. Yeah, come back to the presentation. Can you open the presentation link?
Which one? The
Yeah, you had questions, right, with the
Oh yeah.
presentation?
Let me. I actually had that on my phone. I didn't send it to myself, but let me email it to
Okay,
myself.
so in the meantime, so when you're doing that, I really like that presentation. And
Mm-hmm.
because of the graphics and because of, see, any presentation, right? People are not going to remember. No? So it's always like, hey, what are the 2 to 3 key takeaways that I want from this presentation? And every time, what I've realized it, you look at the motivation and you look at the intention behind certain things, then it will be much more easier for you to understand why they're doing it a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense? So, see, this is a pharmaceutical company, right? It's a big pharmaceutical company that is promoting the drug.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? Now, what is the goal of the pharmaceutical company? It has to show that, hey, from baseline to the end of the study, what happened, right? So if the drug is better or the placebo is better, or there's no change, right? That's what they want to look for. So if you can you can play it and go to the slide. You play the thing, go to the slides in this. So you had like, is graphics necessary by keeping the data minimal? Wouldn't people miss learning? Yeah, go back to the presentation. Yeah, play the presentation. Yeah, you can make it big, full screen. And in the meantime, you remember when I told you about like research or
Wait,
research in general.
oh yeah.
Okay, am I? Yeah, you remember when I told you about research in general? What was the most important aspect in the research? You have to clearly define who the population is,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is your inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria. So in the introduction, you look at the things that they have to cover, right? What is this topic? Right? I want to convince you that this drug is good for pulmonary fibrosis,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that, hey, the lung is getting destroyed. If you take this drug, the progression of the disease is, decreased, right? So that is the goal of this study. Then I have to define that, hey, what are the outcomes that I care about, right? If I take this drug, is my symptoms getting better? Am I getting less fatigued? And those are the things that I want to see. And the aim was, hey, this we have evaluated with the questionnaire, right? That's the tool that we have used. So these are the things that they show, right? And they've tried to cover everything. See, this is very relevant information for me, right? From this, I know that, hey, they've used a questionnaire to figure out did the drug perform better than the placebo or not, right? Now, that's the introduction. So, what slide you felt had more graphics? This was one. You can go to the next slide.
I think it was this one. I noticed like they used like a lot of graphics
Mhm.
um
Yeah,
to illustrate what they
yeah.
were like the different
Mhm.
stages. And then
Yes. So here
and
it's
this one
like,
had a lot.
yeah, so here they're trying to look at, basically giving you a good picture about who the patient is, right? Here, I get a really good idea that, hey, you will be eligible for the study only if you are getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you had pulmonary fibrosis and it hasn't progressed from 5 years. I can't measure anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
For my study, and then the outputs that I'm going to give you is like, it doesn't make sense. So first thing that you have to define for any study, this is a lesson for us, right? How do we make sure, how do we write our inclusion exclusion criteria to give a picture of who our patient is, right? So this, yes, it could have been done with lesser graphics.
Mm-hmm.
I would have made it a little bit, it's a bit too wordy, and they're given the same information sometime, right? You should see that, okay, has it been repeated anywhere? The information. If you feel like it's repeated anywhere, then you should remove that, right? So that's something that I would do. But I like this slide. It's pretty good. It's
Yeah.
informative. Right? Now the chest X-ray, HRCT, and the one that they've told already, I wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Use graphic and just one word to define that, or else don't use graphic in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? So that is something that I would do. Yeah. Next slide. So this is the inclusion criteria, right? And look at the,
This was the other one that used like a
yes.
lot.
Yes. So here I want to know that, hey, in this study, right, they are looking at when I enroll my patient, what is the patient characteristic? Am I enrolling kids? Am I enrolling females? Am I enrolling, who my population is? So if you look at this slide, you'll be like, hey, it is mostly a white, obese man in his 65, who's 60s. He is my patient, right? Then I set certain things in my mind that, hey, these are the things that this patient is going to have, right? So if you think about someone who's old, they're usually going to be obese, and they're more prone to other infections. They're more prone to diseases, and they're already taking multiple drugs. Now, even before going into the study, you will already know that, hey, do you think this patient will be taking 2 pills or 3 pills, or, that's you can assess based on that as well. Makes sense. But if it's a person in their 20s, you don't expect that they'll be taking 3, 4 pills, right? So this slide is important, but not like this is too much graphic, right? It's true. It's too much graphic. If you were to change it, I would try to make like one man and show that, hey, this is the cohort that you need to imagine. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little bit, but it's still a good slide. I mean, to communicate what you did in 4 minutes, that's amazing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, you can go to the next slide.
Oh, and then like this, I think I skipped one, but like the one about the data, like this was like one of them.
Yeah,
I was a
yes.
little
So
like
this is like,
confused on this one,
yeah,
like
go
what
ahead.
it meant.
Ah,
Like,
okay. So what they're trying to do is see when they showed you the baseline characteristics, right? They're showing you at week zero, day
mm-hmm.
zero, like what the patient looks like. Once you take the entries for the patient, then you randomize the patient. What does randomization mean, right? It's like, hey, I have two groups. You are my patient. I don't know what group you're gonna go into. If you go to group A, you're going to get my drug. If you go to group B, you're not going to get my drug. You're going to get a sugar pill or some pill that will tell you could be the drug, right? And I, as an investigator, might not know what the drug is, if that group is getting the drug or not. So if only the patient doesn't know if they're getting the real drug or not, then it's called a single blinded study. Okay, if the patient as well as the investigator, that is me, the physician, don't know if the patient is getting the drug or not, then you call it a double blinded study. So who knows if the patient is getting the drug or not? There will be a third party who's not related to our study and they will be monitoring.
Okay.
Okay, so the randomization is done by the computer or a software. Once that's done, the patient is assigned a group. And look at the design of the study, right? In group A, you're giving the drug. In group B, you're not giving the drug. If you think about a 65-year-old man who's already progressively getting worse, right? I would say from baseline to 52 weeks, what do you think would have happened to his health?
If
Would it have deteriorated or remained the same?
from this like remain the same.
He's getting worse, right? That's your inclusion criteria.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So he would have deteriorated. So if I look at the questionnaire values on day zero and 1 year later, I should get a higher score 1 year later. Right? So basically, I'm trying to say that, hey, this questionnaire is going to give me a score regarding the patient's health. Let's say the score is 25. He has certain health now. I know that the disease is going to progress over the year. And after the end of the year, I'm going to use the same questionnaire and look at the score again. This time, I'm going to expect that he'll get 30 instead of 20, right? So he's getting worse over the year. Now, my patient population is supposed to get worse in 1 year. If I give the drug, that is group A, is the progression decreasing or will the patient get better compared to the placebo group? That's the question that they're trying to answer.
Okay.
Did it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
tell me what you understood.
It's kind of like they're showing the like development of how the placebo versus the drug affected
Yes.
the groups.
Yes. And you're looking at baseline values and you're looking at values after 1 year.
Mhm.
So that is the study design. Now, when they come to results, they need to show me that, hey, these are the tools that we use to measure the outcomes, and this is how they work, right? Now, see, if they design a questionnaire and they hit me with a questionnaire and say that, hey, we did this questionnaire and we saw that this was the improvement, I'll be like, okay, questionnaire has some, some things that I won't be able to know. Do you have an objective metric? If I do a HRCT and I visualize the lesion, right? If the injury is getting worse, then I can quantify the injury. Make sense? So they also did like HRCT to look at how big the injury was getting. Okay, so those were their endpoints. So they showed that even for our study, we need to do these graphs. This is very important. This is like an overview, like, hey, what happened at each stage? When you say follow up, what were the things that you looked at when you followed up? Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So next
Mm,
slide.
this one I looked at.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is the next one.
Yeah. So did you understand what this meant?
Yeah, this was I think a pretty like straightforward.
Yep.
And then
We
so
are
like
going to use this.
huh?
We are using the same questionnaire
Oh,
for
the
our
same
study.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So I found like how you found it hard, right? In the supplement, you're not able to download. I'm unable to download as well.
Yeah, I think they should make it a little easier to access the questionnaire because maybe we can see the actual because the questionnaire is like such a like a key part of like any research process. So I think allowing
Yeah.
people to access this would make it easier for people to actually understand the research process. But to each their own, I guess.
I don't know. So if you look at this, right? See, look at the symptoms module, right? When you say symptoms module, you're looking at dyspnea. Dyspnea is nothing but shortness of breath,
Yeah,
right? You're walking a certain, space and you're not able to walk in the same manner. So that is dyspnea. Then the second thing they're talking about is cough, right? Then the third one is fatigue. Now, the issue that I have with this questionnaire, which I am going to bring it up tomorrow, is cough, right? So, if we are, let's say in our study, we are going to measure the questionnaire every month for 12 months, right? Now, what happens if you get allergies?
it would get worse, or like the score would go down.
Yes, score would go up. So higher score means patient is feeling worse,
Oh, okay.
right? What if you get allergies? Now, in 1 year, you're already 65. What is the likelihood that you have allergies, you're going to get infected, and you're going to get the flu?
Very
It's pretty
likely.
high,
Yeah.
very likely. So, where are we capturing that? So, where are we capturing that? Right?
Mm,
That's why I had a issue with the cough. You're using cough as a domain, but okay, there are going to be areas where things might not add up. So my improvement would be before you fill the questionnaire, ask two questions. Did anything change? Are you taking any new medication? Right? Or has anything, have you fallen sick? Which was, or did anything change from the last time you took the questionnaire? So that's something that I would want to capture before we make the patient take the questionnaire. Does that make sense?
yeah.
They're not going to implement it,
Ugh.
right? But I am already finding values that don't add up.
Mhm.
So I'm like, hey, this really doesn't make sense, right? Oh, at some point the patient is very bad, and again he becomes baseline. So that's kind of what is happening. Yeah. So this is the questionnaire. Next part, please.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes. So this is like they're trying to tell me at baseline what were the questionnaire scores, right? So
Okay.
look at each groups. So if it is a UIP fibrotic pattern, then the score is certain, you get a certain score in each domain, and then this is like the baseline, and then After 1 year with placebo and control groups, what are the values? Right? So yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
can go next. So yeah, this is statistics, right? So they're trying to say that, okay, when they say confidence interval of 95%, that means that I am 95% sure that the p-value is between this range.
Okay.
Right? That's what the confidence interval means. And if you look at the placebo and control, right? Look at the questionnaire score. So what are we supposed to see, right? If you look at the questionnaire score without the drug should be higher compared to with the drug. If that is true, then the drug works. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now look at the placebo and the control. There is quite a lot of difference.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they concluded that the drug works.
Okay.
Right now, if I were to approve this drug, I would not completely depend on the questionnaire,
Mm-hmm.
right? I would say that show me hard evidence, right?
Yeah.
I just pointed out to you that, hey, what if some patients at that time had more cough? And that could be an acute case,
Yeah.
right? I can push back. And then what about dyspnea? Those are the things that I would say, right? And then if you go to the next slide, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's
Okay.
why they had to put in an objective metric, that is the CT scan,
Okay.
right? So how did it correlate with the CT scan?
Is this
I think it's
wait, so
not
this one is what is the difference? Wait,
one sec. Yeah, there is some change, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
What is this is at week 52, but this is also at week 52. What is changing?
Yeah, so you look at week 50. So you're looking at
Oh,
52
the
weeks. It is different patterns.
okay. Okay, now I see it. Yeah.
One second. Hello. Yeah, go ahead. So this is like they classified into two things. See, this is what, see, I took the inspiration from this and I said other. I'm like, okay, this is our interest, right? If it's not in our interest, just put it in other and that is someone else's problem, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I thought of as well. But yeah, this is another thing. Yeah, go to the next slide.
Yeah.
And this was their strong conclusion.
Mhm. Okay. Something- Oh, yeah, that's it.
So even when we are presenting, if we make a presentation like that, it's really good for our study. Trust me, when you try to simplify things, right, it shows that you have spent time to distill the right information to your audience. That's what it means. So that's the aim that they are going for as well. But yeah, this is about the questionnaire. Now I'll share my screen and I will show you the questionnaire things that I found
Okay.
and the issues that I'm facing. See, when I say issues I'm facing, right, we can always, all of these are fixable issues. I would say if it's not an issue, if it's not fixable, then it's not an issue. But okay, so I sent you a drive link. Do you want me to mail it
Oh
to
yeah,
you
I
as
didn't.
well?
Yeah, I wasn't able to. It said I didn't have access.
Yeah, if you can send that to me, I will give you
Yeah, let
access.
me. Yeah, just requested it.
Okay. So this is like a good place to see what I'm doing with my projects
Mhm.
overall. So here, I want you to open this Living with Pulmonary Fibrosis folder.
Okay.
And
Mm,
here, if you see, I have certain files and you go to resources.
okay.
Here. So if you look at the files in the resources, right, you'll find each questionnaire that we are
Okay.
using. So I'll show you what happened. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now look at this. This was the questionnaire that they developed, right? So how developing a questionnaire works is you validate with the patient, you validate with the physicians, and you validate with the condition, right? It's not just that, hey, I just need these things. Like how you said, in certain areas, the questionnaire was making the questions very easy, right? That is the input that they might have received from the patients.
Mhm.
Make sense? So we need to see that, okay, so this is how I'm seeing the questions in this questionnaire. So when they made this questionnaire, they asked these questions and it was like an interview, right? So they had a scoring in their mind and they gave the score to the patient.
Okay.
So it says that did you get dressed in the last 24 hours? How shortness of breath did getting dressed make you? I can ask in a scale of 0 to 5, 0 to 10. It differs, right? It can be anything. Now, at the end of the day, the if I say that 0 to 0, grade something from 0 to 4, you can say a 4 on that scale, and you can say an 8 on a scale of 0 to 10, right? So those are the differences that it can make. Now, what they have done in the questionnaire that was prepared for our study, see, this is how the questionnaire was prepared, right? They have not given a scale over here.
Mhm.
I don't see it. Right? Now, when you go to this paper in the supplement, even these people, there is no scale. This was like a review paper. So this is the paper that we have impacts. Yep. Okay. Um, want that. Let me just download it and oh, you know, when you want it to work, it never works. I always trust Google more than Microsoft because
Mhm.
Google is very reliable,
Yeah.
right? So either ways. So till then, I'll open it in this. Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm not able to download it at all. Do I have it anywhere here? Mm, screen. Um, mm, I don't think I'm. So, anyways, I'll open that in the meantime. So, what they have done is they have flipped the questions, right? They have, for in certain places, they have asked in a certain way, but in other places, they've asked in another format. Like, hey, in this questionnaire scoring, it's like, zero means bad in certain cases, and in certain other cases, zero means good.
Mhm.
So if the this is an see now people don't read stuff, right? In general, that's like the major issue that people face. And
Yeah.
on top of that, you should make it much more easier. See, this is a very standard questionnaire, right? They are asking you very simple things. And this questionnaire is, every time this is worse. It has this common trend, right?
Mhm.
If it's like over the past 3 months, I have coughed, blah, blah, blah. So it's the same, right? All these questions have consistent trend. So if the trend changes, will the patient interpretation change, or sometimes will the patient forget that the trend has changed? Right? So the question that was raised in our meeting was, could it be possible that, the patient is already thinking that four means worse? And for certain questions in between, he might have not completely read the question and he would have still thought four is worse when four means better.
Mhm.
Right? So that was the question that was raised. There is nothing I can do to answer him. I can just be like, hey, so this is the trend that I've seen, and this is consistent in this manner, right? So that is what I would say. Now, coming to why I sent you that file and why I showing this is when they extract the data, it looks like this, right? This is the questionnaire. It has 28 questions
Mhm.
and it is in this index format. And then we have to figure out the answer for this question. Right? There's a question index that has a score, and we need to look at the score.
Mhm.
Make sense? So now what I'm going to ask you to do is I will stop sharing my screen and you share your screen now and open our studio and download the folder. No, this is
Um,
our studio. This is R. So you need to search for our studio. Yeah, the one.
what is the big
Uh,
house?
go to search on down. Yes, our studio.
Mhm.
You can type. You can start typing now. Our studio.
What?
Just go down, search, and you can just say our studio. And there, like next to it, just click on that. You can type. It'll allow you to type our studio. Yeah. Just not the you've already downloaded it, you have installed it.
Yeah,
So just type R. Yeah. No.
I used to have it.
Just click no. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Yes. So we should always open this. Yep. Yep. Perfect. Quit and okay. It remind me later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you go to uh, Google and then download the folder that I sent you in go back. Yeah. So you have to download data. Living with pulmonary fibrosis.
Okay. You
You just go back from this, just open my
Yeah.
drive.
It have to be open to my drive.
Yeah. Scene share. Mhm. Living with pulmonary fibrosis, correct?
Like download the entire file?
Yes, download it. Now it always zips. And go inside it, go inside the file and just go to data given. Yeah, it has downloaded. You can open the zip file. So anytime before we start our data analysis, right, we need
Mhm.
to ask, yeah, extract it, first extract it,
How do I
extract
extract
the
it?
whole file. Yeah, go downloads, go to download,
Oh
extract
yeah,
all.
extract file.
Yes, extract. Okay, now that's it. Now where has it extracted? It has it extracted in downloads only?
Yeah,
Click on the, okay, click on, go, try to go back.
this is
Yeah, it has extracted. Okay, just cancel everything else now. We just need this.
just this one.
Cancel everything. No, no, like just cancel everything. I'll show you. So go to the extracted file. You can close the Google Chrome. Mhm. Yep. So go inside. Yep. And go to data given. And here you click on LTF impacts. I had CC'd you to one chain, right?
Yeah.
What does it say? Yes. So this is how the data looks, right? Enable editing. Okay, so you can't open that. Close Excel. What do we do with
Okay.
this? You do one thing. You click on sign in.
Where's
Yeah,
the
just
oh let me change
change.
it.
Yeah, change it. Yeah. Just type KAK.
Oh,
Yeah. 699 at pit.edu. Yep. And yeah, it will take you to this. Yeah. Same thing. KAK 699. Yeah. Password capital C H
is H also capital?
H. No, no, no. That's not.
Okay.
INTU 1997 at. Yeah. Yeah. Submit. Yep. Allow. Okay. Anyway, there, like for patient information, they've given me another email, so it doesn't
Okay.
matter. But Excel is really useful
Mhm.
to know because it will, it helps you with most of the analysis. Okay, one sec. What code giving? It wants me to enter again. 251546.
251546.
Two, 251546. Yeah, that's the one you didn't
Yeah, it's saying
enter.
it's not the right
One
one.
second.
Let me retype
Oh,
it.
very 251. One second. Yeah, type a new one. 880 540. Mhm. Oh, that's strange. Okay, anyways, you can cancel this. Just cancel that. Yeah, try clicking on it again. Why is it showing that? Oh, 774 822. Yep.
Or-
Yeah. Done. Enable editing. Accept. Enable editing now. Perfect. Yep. So here you can see that look at the questionnaire, right? You look
Mhm,
at the subject number. See, whenever you have different subject number in each row, same subject number in a row, it means that you are collecting longitudinal data,
mhm,
right? When then the question should be like, hey, when you say longitudinal data, does it mean that the same patient is answering different questions or at different time points? Same questions at the different time point, right? So here, when you have visit one, the patient is answering 29 questions or 28 questions. Make sense?
mhm.
So when you say 28 questions, then at each visit, patient is answering 28 questions, right? So if you go more down, you'll see visit two, and he would have answered again, right? 28 questions.
Yeah.
Now, as a person who's doing data analysis, right, the first thing you should do is how have they structured these questions and does this data look correct, right? You have to look for some missing values over here, right? Then you say that, okay, if you look at column F, right, it is telling you the question that was asked, right? And column G is their score. Can you tell me that if there's any issue in this data that you see? Just
Mm.
preliminary. See the first few parts and tell me if there's any issues you see.
Wait, so column G
Mhm.
was it?
Go.
Was that the
Yes.
preliminary results?
Okay. Yeah, these are results, right? It doesn't matter. Like these are actual results, and you need to analyze your data based on these results.
Mm. Comparing like both of the, what is it, G and H, for the most
Mhm.
part, it's pretty much like the same.
Correct. Correct. So now, when you go back, could you open the questionnaire, like impacts questionnaire? I'll see if I can do any better with that.
Wait, where was that one? Is that also in the, or it should be in here?
No, not that. So, anyways, in short, I'll go back and I'll try to see if I'll see anything better. It's still not loading. Resources. Where's the Can you open the question, the email thread that I CC'd you on
Yeah.
in the meantime? It's fine. You don't have to open that. Go to the folder, and in that you have module. No, the same, like you have downloaded it, right? You can
Oh,
go to
okay.
your downloaded file. Yeah,
Mm,
it
mm,
ha go back. Yep. Go to module and then analysis, LPFI, LPF scoring. Just click on yeah, and then open LPFI as well. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Keep this open.
mm,
Go back to that question, the scoring thing.
okay.
Yes. Keep that. Yep. Make it bigger. Now you see the comments.
Thanks.
What did you tell me with the when you saw the thing? Whatever was the answer, the same thing was the score,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah.
Now, what was our observation? Some questions were flipped,
Mm-hmm.
right? For some questions, the scoring should have been flipped.
Yeah.
So in that data, they have not flipped the scoring.
Okay.
Okay, so if I just make a sum of that questionnaire, is it going to be of any use for me?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. That's what I did beginning, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
when I realized that, hey, these things are flipped,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now you go down in this. Yep, yep. Go down, even,
Going all the way
yep.
down.
Go to the impact module. So you see question 3, 17, 8, 19, 20, and 21. These are flipped, right? Now you have to go back to the Excel file, Excel.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yep. Try to go to question 3.
Just this one.
Yep. What do you think the thing it is?
Among other things, quality of life, conditions, diseases.
Yep. That's not even the questionnaire,
Uh,
right? That's not the questionnaire.
oh, it's not.
Now you go to yeah, go to 8, and that is question 3.
Oh, this.
Like if you see, yep, that is question 3.
Okay. Wow.
So there are a couple of things that you have to do, right? First thing is you have to change how the questions are numbered. Create a new column where you say that this is question 1, 2, 3. Now, the other thing, if you look at this data, this mistake is consistent. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
For all the patients, it's the same mistakes that happens. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now, once you know the mistake is the same, you can fix it with code, or else you have to sit and fix for all the patients,
Mm-hmm.
which is quicker to learn coding, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So why I'm trying to get you to do all these is because when you're making the questionnaire, you will
Mm-hmm.
always think about the person who's coding and the person who's analyzing,
Yeah.
right? You'll have that lens and you'll make it in that lens. Makes
Mm-hmm.
sense? So that's what you're gonna do. So first mistake we identified, questions were flipped,
Mm-hmm.
right? Second mistake we identified that the question number is not accurate. We have to fix the question number as well as fix the scoring.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to create new column for question index and new column for scoring. I'm going to call it interpretation. In that interpretation, I'm going to fix the questions and I'm going to say
Okay.
that, hey, if these are the questions, I want you to flip it. Make
Mm-hmm.
sense? Now
Yeah.
go back to the folder. Yep. And see the cleaned one. Yep. What do you see?
It looks a lot more like simple compared to the other one. Like,
Yep. And here I put it as answer. And look at question 3. So in this, what have I done?
Just maybe taking all the way to the bottom.
I have just fixed the question index for
Yeah.
this,
Mm-hmm.
right? So once I fixed the question index, the second thing I had to do was fix the scoring system,
Mm-hmm.
right? So these were things I did using R.
Okay.
Okay, now you open, now you understood, right? See, first thing is you have to write down, right? Like, what are the things I need to fix?
Mm-hmm.
Without that, don't go to R or don't open anything, right? So I already knew that, okay, these, see, consistently, these are the mistakes as well as what are the things that I need to fix. Now, this is how you take it to ChatGPT and tell that, hey, this is my instruction, give me the code to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that is the real use of ChatGPT. Make sense?
Yeah.
And I tried with ChatGPT 3.5 and it works. You have to like dumb it down a little bit and then help it understand. That's it. So
Yeah.
now minimize this, open R.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You can just open one. Yeah. You can close the others. So now you understood, right, how this dataset
Yeah.
thing works. Yeah, just open one. Yep, that's pull it to the side. Yep. So now, what do you remember from last time we opened our? How do you
Um,
open a file?
I think it was just like it's already in the file, so I guess we choose one of these.
Click on the three dots over there. Yep, yep. Now go to downloads. Yep. Go to living with pulmonary. Yep. Just click on open. Right now, click on that. Yep. See here, you'll see the uh, data, and then you go to data given. Click on LPF impacts on top. Yep, yep. Import
Mm-hmm.
data set. Yes. So if the one that you had opened that time, that is called base R. And on top of base R, you're running this R Studio. R
Mm-hmm.
Studio is trying to make it easier for you to use R functions.
Okay.
Okay, so now that is the code for you to import this data set.
Into R.
You can see the code preview.
Yeah.
So if you type that code, it will import that data set. You don't have
Okay.
to type it, it'll do it by itself. But now you can see that, hey, this is how the data set looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can preview it. Now click on import. Yep, see, you can see data over there
Yeah.
to the right. So that is your data set.
Okay.
Now you can see console right down where you pasted it.
Yeah.
Yes, go down, scroll down, type str, open bracket, just
Oh,
open
this is
bracket, don't select anything. Open the bracket, capital, not the flower bracket, the normal bracket. Can you
or
see on
it's
top, like view is there,
oh
right?
yeah, this
Yeah, capital L underscore PF,
E what?
PF. Like just
Okay.
copy the what you see on top.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Now you click on that. Yep. Press enter. Yep. Now copy this output. Yep. Go top.
Mm-hmm.
Copy. Yeah. Copy the whole thing. It's okay. Copy the whole thing. Yep. Yep. Control C. Mhm. Now go to ChatGPT. Yep. Oh, did you finally take the GPT-4 now?
No, I just have an account with the regular one.
Okay, okay, got it. Before you paste it, like remove everything. Yeah, you say that I am using RStudio to do data analysis for my medical research. I want you to give me code chunks. I want you to give me code chunks based on the data structure I have given you, and give me a description of what you're doing. My goal is to tidy the data. Yep. Now paste your structure. Now paste it. Yep. Enter. Go down. Mhm. Yeah. Now go on top. Right? You, when they say library, right? Now let's understand what this code is supposed to mean. So when it is trying to copy the first code, library code. Okay, yeah, copy. Now paste it. Go to RStudio. No, no, no. You have to go
Oh,
to R. Yeah, paste it there.
oh, underneath or in this?
Yeah, underneath that. Yeah, just paste it. Control V. Yep, enter. It won't run. Okay, so it says no package called dplyr, right? Don't go there. Go to packages in the right side. You can see packages, right? Next to files, yeah, packages. Click on install. Just on top, install dplyr. Yep, Inst select it, install it. Now you paste it again. Enter. See. Now what did it do?
It pasted
It changed the column names
Oh,
to
okay.
make it easier, right? That was the base. See, what was our goal, right? Our goal was to make it easier. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
said, right? Tidying the data. So
Mm-hmm.
it made it easier first. Now go back to ChatGPT, go down. You can remove that, yeah. Go down. So first thing, see, it'll tell you what it did. Go on top, try to read like what it has stored. Yep, additional info might not be relevant, right? So that's
Yeah.
the thing. So it'll be like, hey, remove this thing. That's fine. Converting data types. Now go down. So why it is important to convert this data type is if you have a column which is supposed to have integers, but it also has variables, then you can't analyze that data, right? So it wants to make sure that the data is accurate. So copy
Mm-hmm.
this code and paste it. Copy the code. Yep. Go back to RStudio. Yep. Paste it. Now go to ChatGPT again. Go down. Yes. Now click on this code, missing summary. Yep. Go back, paste it. Yeah. So if you see there in values, you'll see like what is missing. See, see down, like in which value you have missing information, in which column information is missing,
Mhm.
right? So you can tidy those. You can think about how to handle that missing information, right? So basically, our studio is trying to see what is a data set, right? What you see in Excel, that is called a data set. Data set has rows and columns, right? In each row, you have certain values, and each column, you have certain values in a certain structure. Now, how you handle that data set is what this is trying to teach you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now go back to ChatGPT and say, type, what was our problem with the question index? Remember, we had an issue with the question index. Question index
Yes.
was wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you can say like in English, like how to fix that question index, and it will give you code to fix it.
Please type it separately.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, just type it. So now you should type, I want you to make a new, no, not how to. I want you to make a new column called interpretation. New column called interpretation. If the interpretation in a new data set called interpretation, called interpret.
No, it's
No, keep interpretation,
interpretation.
called interpret, in which, wait, you can give it like, it's not very hard thing. So in which I want you to reference the question index, one, and if I want you to reference the question index, and if the value is 0, put 4. Yes, if value, then like that. If value, it's fine, output 4, that's correct. And if value is 1, 2, 3, output is blah, blah, blah. Change it.
If output is
If value is, if score, don't say value, if score is 1, output 3. And if comma, if score is 2, output 2. If score is 1, output, wait, 4, 3, 2, output 1.
if score is
If
one
score
output.
is, sorry, if score is 3, output 1. Output 1. If score is 0, output 4. I want you to reference the question index 1, comma 4, comma 8. No, 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 on top, sorry. We have typed it now. I want you to reference the
Oh,
question index.
I want you to, yeah,
Question index 1,
yeah.
comma 2, comma 8, comma 12. See, I'm making this up. right? So we'll have to look at it and go over it again. And then at the end, for all others, keep it the same in the end, And for all others, keep it the same. See, this was what we wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
At least one part where, basically in English, yeah, click on send now. So in the meantime, I'll tell you what the data is trying to do. So go on top, look at the code chunk it gave you, right? So see, any library, right? See, first you need to install the package. Once you have installed the package, each one will, you need to, every package will have libraries, right? And in that library, we'll have certain functions. So if you look at the renaming columns, right? Oh, regenerate, click on regenerate. Yep, yep, perfect. Go on top, just copy that code chunk, what it gave. Yes, this one, and paste it. Yes, there you go. Click on interpret, question index, go to the right from the scroll, come towards the left, and you see a bar, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Go more, go more. Look at that.
Mm.
That has done for all the questions.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Now you became a data analyst. Right? So you need to visualize like what needs to be done. And now go back to ChatGPT, right? So I'll tell you what it means, right? Take a code chunk, go on top. Yep, stop, come down, show me this code chunk. So basically what it did was, I told you, right? We installed the package. That was our step number one. Once we installed the package, we had to call that library that is called dplyr. In that library, then we have to call, this library will have certain functions, right? So if you look at the first chunk of code, it says create a copy of the original data set to work with. So when it says interpret, right, you're creating a new data set, and that sign that you see over there, that is like the, I don't know how to call it, like bracket and the hyphen, right? And you're just putting the values from the first data set that you had made into a new data set. Okay, once you have created the new data set, if you go back to R, you remember you clicked on a new data set called interpret, so it created the new data set. That was step number one,
Mhm.
right? Now go back to ChatGPT. So here you look at interpret, right? What now it is going to save anything that you have, any functions that you make it do into the data set called interpret. That is consistent. Make sense? Now here, the once you see the sign, right, next to that interpret, that is basically telling, whatever comes towards the right side, whatever value should go to interpret. Next, the interpret, you are in towards the right side, it is telling work with the data set called interpret and use the function called mutate. Okay, in the mutate function, I want you to create a new column called interpretation. And in that column, I want you to add these cases. If this is the case, if the question index in this is so and so, then score should be so and so. And score equals 0, then interpretation is 4. Make sense? So this is, see, what ChatGPT is good at is taking natural language and converting it into code. So whatever we said, right, it did it.
Okay.
So if you tell chat, see, you can't ask ChatGPT to interpret everything for you. Right. So you have to look at the data and you need to see like what doesn't make sense. And then you say like, hey, what do I do with it? Okay. Now go down and let's take two arbitrary values, for example, right? Open RStudio and we'll end it. Okay. Last. So so you have the columns called score and interpretation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now minimize this, go to ChatGPT. Okay. I want now click, yeah, start typing message. I want you to do I want you to do medical statistical analysis. Medical statistical analysis, where you are comparing two columns, that is score and interpretation. And I want you to use Spearman correlation, SPEARMAN correlation, and Spear, COR. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, correlation, and give me output in chart format. Yep, enter. Yeah, click on enter. See, it knows that these are the columns that are there in your data set, and this is how you need to visualize and blah, 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 right? So if you say library ggplot, we have not installed ggplot, right? So now you do this.
Uh, install.
Install
Mm-hmm.
ggplot. Yep. ggplot2. Just ggplot2. Yep. Hit install.
ChatGPT.
Go on top. See, this is the overall code, right? That's not
Okay.
required. You've already run it. You just need the small code chunk. Yep. Copy that, paste it. Now click on plot. There you go.
Okay.
That is the correlation. And click on correlation result in the data set. In the data, in the right side, you have correlation result. See?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That is your p-value, that is your estimate, and blah, blah, blah. That's it.
Okay.
If you know so much, no, you'll be ahead of so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You should never teach these people this stuff, I realized.
Mm-hmm.
You should just do it and give it to them. They'll get mind blown by all this stuff. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now comes the difficult part for you. Okay. I want you to, this you need to take it down, write it down.
Mhm.
How we fix the LPF data set, right? Like the questionnaire. You haven't fixed it yet, but I'll show you how I fixed it. Go to files,
Like on here, just
Just the files that you've already downloaded,
okay.
right? Uh-huh. And click on LPFI. I want to see what, yeah, I want to see what I put over there. Yep, see, this is how I have cleaned it. So first thing I did was I had to fix the questions, right? There are only 21 questions. Then I fixed the actual interpretation. Then made some of the interpretation for each visit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I did the analysis for that.
Yeah.
So for now, as long as you learn how to tidy the data, that is good. So this is first thing. That's for you to refer, like how it should look like.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now go back to files, go back. I want you to, why is it? And go to SGQ. Okay, so I want you to work in this folder SGQ. Okay, and go back. And I want you to, no, not SGQ. Let's make you work. No, symptoms. You have to work on symptoms. Okay. Yeah, I had wanted to show you this. So in this symptoms for file, I want you to clean the data for, go back. Yeah, this LPF system, symptoms,
The copy for the
both, or that one. Yeah, just do that one. Yeah. Okay. I want you to go over it, go over the questionnaire. And I also showed you, right? They have given like where you have to make the changes. Go back to file, go to module. So yeah, go to module. Oh, we were in module.
yeah.
Okay, I will send you the questionnaire. I'll
Okay.
send it to you again. So you can go over the questionnaire and you can put your analysis over there. Cleaning part.
Okay.
Okay. Now, today, did it make sense?
Yeah. Like 50-50.
50-50. Okay. Did you understand how to load the data set?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. The main thing is opening the right hour.
Yeah. Like the process I understand.
Yes, that's it. The more you work, see, I'm also not a software engineer, right?
Mhm.
I'm a physician. I can't, even for me, it's hard. And then I kept doing it. And now I'm at a stage where